An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Flush. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Demarcus Lawrence able to run him down for a loss of about 20 yards. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 2017 for Zeke Elliott, a mixed bag. Would he play, would he not play? Well, he missed the 6 games from weeks 10 to 15. He still finished, though, Charles, 10th in the league in rushing.
Just tells you about the talent that he has and how explosive he is and what he brings to the table. Look, he averaged 98 yards per game, 98.3 to be exact, a full 11 yards higher than number 2 Todd Gurley behind him. So that just tells you, if he plays a full season and he's averaging that type of yardage, I think Dallas's win numbers go up.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Throwing, Prescott. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Mike Bennett in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they get the ball first here in front of the home crowd under the lights, and they get 3 points out of it.
And there's something about a night game, isn't there? A little extra snap, a little extra crisp in the air. What a terrific way to get things started. A little extra excitement, a little extra dazzle for the home crowd.
Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished 2nd. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought, was going to be the guy who got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find a running game and get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Demarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So on fourth down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on the punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 15. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big...
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 78 yards. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Bailey now to kick this one away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing in too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Complete. Richardson has it. That one goes for 24 yards. Now Wilson on first down. And that is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again. Wilson going up top. And this is caught inside the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
On 2nd down, Wilson forced out to his left. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown. Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Cowboys offense coming back out there, and after the excitement of that 13-3 year, the NFC East title 2016, they fell back to earth in 2017. It still finished 9-7, but not what you expected from them.
No, the scoring differential was a big telltale about the difference between 2016 2017. They were plus 115 a season ago, just plus 22 this year. That means tighter games can go either way, and not enough of them win in Dallas's win column in this past season.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Here's Prescott. Bryant has it. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And this one is incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Prescott. This is caught by Williams. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through him. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He had to go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's third down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Jalen Smith in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Here's John Ryan now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Just outside of that 20-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
First down, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Williams, a man in motion right. Prescott looks to throw on first. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And it's second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On second down, Elliott. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
In motion left comes Williams. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it out to midfield. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. In motion right is Bryant. Prescott now from the 50. And that is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
On second down, here's Wilson. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On third down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Bryant the man in motion right. Prescott to throw it. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Prescott from the gun. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now Prescott. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And on the left side, he's got Witten. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Now Prescott being chased out left. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Jeff Swaim, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Forced out to his left. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. He lets it fly for Lockett. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 43 yards. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Trey Madden taking it in. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. And that one puts them on top here in the third. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting on field and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. Throwing, Prescott. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, James Hanna, and it's third down.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
On third down, it's Prescott. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A give to Elliott running left. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Cowboys on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Prescott. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off at the 25. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Second down following the run. And they'll put Bryant in motion left. Prescott now on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's got some space here. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. On second down, Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Wilson on second down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And the Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for 1 more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Cowboys defense is going to get him the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down. And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. The slot man in motion right. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Steps away to his left. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. He'll look to throw. Man open left side. It's Williams. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball on the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
So a very interesting final chapter to this proverbial book here in this one, because they were in field goal range, could have won it with a field goal, elect to go for the touchdown. I still don't know what they were doing.
As great as this game was and as dramatic an ending as we had, the post-game press conference is going to be key, because they're going to be asking Coach, why not a field goal attempt there? You got an opportunity to win it right there with your guy, and instead you run another play.
Yeah, we might need to stop by that press conference on our way out the back door here.
Yeah, just slow down the plane for us, all right? We got to get an answer before we go.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from AT&T Stadium.